All right, let's see here. We should be good on Facebook, waiting on IG. There we go. Sweet. All right, so we're there. We're on IG. We are going. Let me double check Facebook real quick. That way I can monitor this stuff and I'll pull up YouTube. Yeah, I need to have Christian doing this actually. That's a lot of monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me make sure I'm not playing music over here. Mute, mute, and mute. Sweet. All right. Well, welcome to the first of forever Acquisitions Cafe Live. So we are putting this on. So PowerPath, Kyle, whatever you want to say, is partnering with Bobby and Jeremy. And the biggest idea here is we're going to run 90 minutes, and it's going to be all about dispo and properties. You know, if you're looking to purchase your first or next STR, we're going to bring some long-term rental stuff here too. We're going to bring hotels here. So Jeremy's really headhunting a lot of hotels. Bobby's got more of the single-family stuff. And this is like creative finance. This is stuff that's usually it's going to be stuff that's already locked up. So anything under contract that's ready to dispo or disposition. I actually had like 10 questions this week on what is a dispo. So disposition, we're getting them under contract and you're taking them over because a lot of people are struggling with finding deals, finding ones that cash flow. Do they work? Do they not? So a lot of these are already set up with the numbers. They're already, if they're going to cash flow or not. Some of these are better for long-term rentals. Some of these are better for personal living. So Bobby said a lot that people are moving into. But yeah, if you're looking for your next purchase, you come here. We're going to do this live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And it's a cafe. So we're going to be like shooting the crap every once in a while. Come on, get on here, ask questions, get to know us, get to know Bobby, get to know Jeremy, myself. We're just going to be a hangout. So maybe there's going to be some entertainment. And there goes Bobby. He's done. He's like, I ain't on here 5 minutes. I'm done.
He's like, no, I'm out. Change my mind.
I don't need this. Bobby will be back. I'm sure it was very like fuzzy. There he is. It was very fuzzy for a second. And we just figured you quit. You're gone. So now I'm going to try to monitor this on the platforms, right? We're live on Instagram. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. So I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to have Christian do this next week. I'm going to do my best to monitor these. So if you have questions, throw them in. If you want to buy, like you want one of these properties, that's it. Now what we're doing is for the first 48 hours, as they come under contract, like as we get them under contract, ready to dispo, the first 48 hours, they are exclusive to the PowerPath community. So if you're in the PowerPath community mentorship, if you're in there, you get access to this if it's under contract for the first 48 hours. So, but join us, grab some coffee. I got 2 cups of coffee here to last me 90 minutes. And I want to point out, Instagram limits us to 60 minutes on live. So if you're watching on IG, that's fine. But just know in 60 minutes, it's just going to cut you off. So I just want everybody to know that that's watching. All right. So anyways, Bobby, Jeremy, I want to throw some stuff out there. Intro yourself. Kick this thing off.
Cool. All right. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to jump off. I had to jump off. Yeah. So cool. Bobby Souza. I am based out of South Florida, and I run a short-term rental management company here in Florida, mainly focused in the Disney market. At the same time, I started to learn about 2 years ago, started to get into the creative financing space to really understand how to acquire, properties using creative financing, whether it's seller finance and how to structure those, or taking over an existing mortgage subject to basically, and everything in between, trying to learn all the different strategies, based on whatever type of market we're in, how can we still acquire properties and how can we still get great deals that cash flow, especially as short-term rentals, and especially in Florida, where property taxes and insurance have gone up so high. how do you leverage, somebody's existing mortgage that has less than a 4% interest rate, and being able to cash flow that way versus getting a mid 6 to 7% interest rate today. So last couple of years have been really focused on that. Now have an acquisitions team that is focused on pulling in, all over the country. And I know we'll be able to really start to hone in different markets too, based on the buy boxes that we have. But yeah, I'm excited to start to bring deals to, through here and to PowerPath going forward, and really just start to figure out ways to get people, especially if you're looking for vacation rentals, short-term rentals, like how do we get you these properties that are either seller finance or subject to, so you can get the benefit of not having to go through a traditional, like a bank, and having to get a 6.8% interest rate
Or 7.
whatever the rate is at now. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sweet. So I would say I know a lot about creative finance. I know a lot about it. We've done a ton of deals with creative finance, but I think I know you know way more than I do when it comes to creative finance, which is awesome. Because you've been in a community mentorship for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
Just solely around this?
Yeah.
So hats off to you, because I ask you questions too. Like, what about this? What about that? And I like to really think that I know a lot about creative finance, but you've really, since I met you especially, you've just like off the maps with the different types of ways y'all are throwing under contract, ideas on, like, I don't know. I've had certain deals come across, or I've been in situations where, like, okay, well, if I sell it this way, does this work? And then just hearing about some of the things that you're talking about, I'm like, oh, okay. So I grow my awareness by just listening to you and talking to you. So that's awesome on my behalf, but also, like, I take that back to the community too. So, which as of this week, we're starting, right? Not next week. This week, we're starting the acquisitions call in PowerPath too. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be a vast full of knowledge there. And that's going to be everything and anything purchasing deals. And then after purchase, right? Like, what if you don't transfer insurance or taxes or whatever? And we talked about that on the phone about, like, we need to push that too. Because a lot of people are like, okay, I bought a deal, but now what? So having that, like, post-closing attorney or transaction coordinator or whatever, I think is going to be massive, and it's going to be a massive value. So I appreciate that massively. But I'm going to hand it off to Jeremy and say, like, intro yourself. Let's throw some stuff out there, and then we can kind of hit the ground running.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, that's it. All right, let's move on. I'm just kidding. I love you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm based out of New Hampshire. I am an agent with the Savvy Realty team. Also have a co-hosting company, own SDR and a boutique hotel. And yeah, just focused solely on hospitality. No real other aspect of real estate anymore. I chased too many shiny objects my first few years in, and realized I needed to niche down. So
didn't we all?
Yeah.
Didn't we all? So I think we chased the 100 rental dream. Like, I'm going to own 100 rentals. One day they'll be outright owned, long-term rentals. And it was like, okay, it's going to take a while. So we started flipping, and then we got into short-term rentals. So I'm with you. Wholesaling too. So Bobby, like, took off on the wholesaling thing, but I kind of, like, tried it, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I didn't get in a community or a course or anything like that. I just was like, yeah, we'll see. So, but where are you? So you're based, I know where you're at, but, like, for people watching, where's your hotel?
It's in Bartlett, New Hampshire, which is one of the towns that borders Conway. And Conway was ranked the #1 ski market in the United States this year, or this ski season, by USA Today. It's a drivable Four Seasons nature enthusiast market from Boston. It's about 2.5 hour drive. It's been popular for generations, and it's also the White Mountain National Forest is there. It gets 6 million visitors a year. So
okay,
yeah.
How long have you owned it?
18 months.
18 months. How long you been operational?
So we opened up 11 rooms August 9th of last year, and then we opened up the remaining 5 December 9th of last year.
Okay. And then how many do you have under management?
Units total?
Yeah.
23,
Okay.
24.
So just to like kind of, people get on this, and if you're watching and you're new to this, you don't know any of us, that's cool. But like if you're kind of tuning in, you're like, why should I listen to these guys? Just want to kind of build a little bit of, you got a hotel, you got 23 doors under management. Bobby has 13 under management.
Yeah. 12.
12 on the short-term rental side, but also wholesaling wise, like locking up contracts, deals, transactions. How many would you say you've thrown under contract or you've disposed or whatever? If you just throw a number out there, what would it look like?
Since really starting on the acquisition side, we've gotten 7 under contract, and we started.
Mhm.
I mean, the where we really start to put the team together was starting in January, but even before that, it was hopping around, doing a lot of lead gen by myself, trying to keep up with the reaching out to different agents, and because we work a lot direct to agencies or on market properties a lot of the times, not all the time, but so now that the team has been ramping up, we've had a few under contract, and like we have one right now in Salt Lake City, Utah, that we are trying to sell, and then we do cash and creative deals, and yeah. So we have a couple under contract right now, and then really. And we work across the U.S., right? So we're not just focused in Florida. Like I said, we have one in Utah. So I definitely want to understand where people are looking more and really start to focus and pull leads there so that we can hit that market.
But you were on a team. Y'all produced like 22 contracts or something like that.
Yeah. In back in November. Yeah, exactly. We sent out. I mean, because and that was in a week. That was in a week's time. I mean, when that was like on Pace Morby's team too, and he's a phenomenal closer. Obviously, if anybody knows who he is, so it was cool because we got within a week's time we pulled leads. We actually even stopped pulling and sending out emails to agents, and within like the 3rd day of a 5-day challenge, and we ended up sending out, getting like 23 contracts out. Yeah. And so, and they range too, right? So it's like lending deals too, and not only just, not only getting these properties under contract, but there's opportunities everywhere. There's always an opportunity within this space, which is a lot of fun to help out the seller, and then to find an end buyer that wants to take that on. Low entry fees is what we try and get to. But there's a couple here that, especially in the STR space, people are okay paying up on an entry fee if they know they're going to get a cash flowing STR. So we have those opportunities as well.
I love it.
What do you have in Salt Lake?
It is a single family, it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's smaller, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's in Sugar House, which a lot of people know, and I mean, it's gorgeous, but it's small. It's not great for short-term rentals in that specific area. To me, it would be great for an end buyer or a wrap, someone that is a wrap buyer. But it's such a nice house. And it's a 4.75% interest rate, and the entry fee is less than 10%. It's like a 8% entry fee. The house is over 500,000, and the entry into it's like 45,000.
Okay.
Okay. So before we because I want to kind of talk about the markets that we have some under contract and all that. If you don't know who I am, so I'm Kyle Fugit. We manage a little over 100 doors, 3 hotels under management, and we're split between 6 states, I think, now. And anyways, we have Power Path that we started last year. So we used to coach really heavy in another community, and last August 1st, we opened Power Path. And so the goal and the vision that we have for Power Path is #1 real estate community in the world for short-term rentals and boutique hotels. And that's anything and everything, short-term rentals and hotels. I would say except arbitrage. So there's 3 ways to get into STRs. There's co-hosting, there's arbitrage, or there's purchasing, which we're covering today. Every Monday, that's what we're covering. So I don't push arbitrage that much. I don't push it at all, really. I've helped more people out of arbitrage deals. My 4-year-old's here, so what is it, son?
The Stanford Brittany, the foot is loose because it's it folded off and now it's broken.
Okay, I'll look at it. Okay, thank you.
But I thought I fell off when I was trying to put the seat up so you can help me build the puzzle when they're in mommy's office. So you can help me.
Okay.
So I can make a family together.
Okay, I'll help you.
And also I thought the foot fell when I was lifting the table up, but now the foot's fall because the screws are loose.
Okay, I'll help you. I love you. Thank you.
Okay.
Best conversation.
He broke something.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he broke, but he broke something. So, but anyway, so we don't push arbitrage that much. I don't really push it at all. We've helped a lot of people out of bad arbitrage deals, but I have seen a lot of success in certain markets if they're able to get like the whole building, right? Like 10 units or 12 units, something like that. I just don't like single family arbitrage deals, period. So if you're going to get into STRs, you're either coming in co-hosting or purchasing. And the reason that we put this together is, one, to have deal flow for people in PowerPath, but also to help the awareness of other people that want to get in a deal, and we can start dispoing deals. And it's just a synonymous relationship between somebody who may not be in PowerPath, that doesn't have awareness of like, hey, these deals are coming through, and also for both Jeremy and Bobby to be able to create the deals and we can dispo. So, but without further ado, so that's who I am. That's who these guys are, these magnificent rock stars. If you guys want to, let's talk about kind of like let's just talk about states for a second. Like, what states are we actively under contract or prospecting in?
So all around, honestly, actively, Florida, Arizona, Utah, North Carolina, Georgia, and California.
Okay. Jeremy?
Both southern and northern California.
Okay.
Southeast, and I got info on one in Missouri, just outside of St. Louis, and one in Utah, just outside of St. Louis or Salt Lake.
Okay. So let's look at something. I don't over a napkin because somebody spilled coffee on this table. It wasn't me.
No, you're not on the boat anymore. Get your land legs back.
So I can call one of the shit guys over here. Like, hey, come clean us up. Well, I don't even have a napkin over here, so I don't know what's going on. All right, so let's talk about this. We're in Georgia. Wait, you said Florida, California. Where else?
Utah.
That's UT, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
AZ. Did you already say Arizona?
Hey, I know that's Arizona. Where else? New Hampshire.
Yep. North Carolina.
North Carolina. Where else?
Missouri.
Is that in MI?
MI's Michigan.
Oh, yeah. States that don't matter. All right, Missouri.
Oh, and Nevada.
That's
That's
NV.
NV. Okay. I got
Yes.
you. Anywhere else?
Actively, no.
Okay.
We can pull anywhere, obviously, but
Right. So just stuff that's under contract right now. Let's
oh,
see.
yeah.
I can show it right here. So I'll just leave this right here. So actively under contract, we got a mix between, well, everything that's under contract, single family. And then the hotel side for Jeremy, there's a lot of like, they're either listed or they're off market, and we've got some deal stuff sent to us. So let's talk about single family for a second, high level. And I'm just going to put this in some of the posts. Let's go. Like, what do you think it's under contract right now? Like, do you have anything to present to throw up on the board? If not, I can just make a comment and pin it.
I would say no. Well, to me, based on what we want to show on here, I mean, we have a couple deals in Utah. I don't know necessarily if it's presentable yet. And there's a couple too that we have contracts out on that we don't actually have signed yet. But if we can gain interest from a buyer, yeah.
That's okay.
So I don't know how we want to present it.
Yeah, we could go like, if we had like a sheet that just showed all of them, that would be best. But we can just kind of go through them and we can just kind of present one at a time, or like all the Utah, all the California, all the Florida, all that. And we could just do like purchase price, entry fee, what's the percent cash flow? It's an STR or whatever, LTR, STR, whatever. And then if somebody wants more info, everybody that's watching this, you want more info, you can either send me an email. You could comment here, you shoot me a DM, but send me an email at info@powerpathventures.com. POWERPATH Ventures VEN. I'm just gonna type it in here. info@powerpathventures.com. I will put that here, and I will show this as well. I think I can show both. I'm not really sure. No, I can't. That's okay. If you want more info on the deals that we have under contract, throw an email here. I don't care what you put in the tagline. I will see it. I will read it. That way we can kind of send all this out, maybe on a high level on a sheet. But Bobby, if you want to give me some high level on some deals, we can throw them up on the board and we can talk about it.
Okay. All right. So we have one that actually, if somebody wants this one, they would need to act on it pretty quickly, just because of from a timing. So this deal we have in Salt Lake City, I was just talking about it, and I do have the details on it. It is in it's in that neighborhood Sugar House, and it is a 1,600 square foot 2-1 small. It has a carport. AC is new. Roof is only 4 years old. No HOA, and it is an 8% entry, right? So the purchase price is $538, and the total entry is $45,000. Now there's a solar lien on this as well, that the payments start in September. That total entry fee has pretty much like 80% of that lien getting wiped out. So there's going to be very minimal payments starting in September. It's somewhere around like $200 a month. And then the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, the PITI, is $3,400. So that's the mortgage that you're taking over. And that's a 4.75% interest rate.
4.75%. Okay.
Yep.
Interest. Okay. What is do you have cash on cash on this deal? This is short term, right?
No, so this wouldn't be a good short. Honestly, I whenever we got this, I'm like, oh yeah, I figured it could be. No, it's not. It's a great residential area, like great for a homestead buyer or primary home buyer. It's also great, like if someone wants to find a lease option tenant or they want to wrap it. That's where you can make some money off this. Otherwise, it's tough. But the seller is going through a tough situation. You know, they just have had a couple payments missed. They're in forbearance program right now, and they've had 2 years of deferred payments on their solar panel lien, and those actually start up in September. so that he's made no payments towards that lien, and so it's a pretty heavy payment that'll start up in September if we can't knock it out. So we're really trying to help this seller, but it's tough because the long-term rents in that market aren't strong enough for the $3,400 payment. It's really going to have to be an end buyer, but it's a beautiful neighborhood. If anybody knows that area, everybody that I've talked to in that area, just like they would live there. The problem is like you'd have to add in another bedroom. I think just people are turned off by it being a 2-1.
Okay.
So not an STR, but still a great deal nonetheless. Less than 10% entry.
Okay.
Is the how big's the lot, and what's the potential to add an ADU?
Yep. So the lot size is 4,300 square feet. And there is actually like a shed out back. You could absolutely add one. It's a really cool backyard. Let me show you. Should I share it, my screen with it?
Sure.
Kyle?
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
Sweet. All right. I don't care if the address is shown because we have it under contract here. All right. Share screen.
I was gonna try to put the states back up.
Let me know
While
when
you
can
share.
see it. You might have to put it up, but
I just
you
did.
got it. Yeah,
Sweet.
Jeremy's got it.
okay, cool. All right. So that's the house. Really nice little house.
Okay.
So
That's
this
the
is a 2-1,
backyard. Yeah,
538 with so you need 45K to get into this deal. This would be a primary residence. PITS 3,400 a month actively.
that's right. Yep. And then there'll be around a $200 solar payment. So it'll be
Okay.
3,600 total.
And
There's
how
a little
much?
shed here.
So the solar payment's 200. What's the remaining balance on it?
So that part of that entry fee. So we
Yeah.
originally had this at a 5% entry fee at 28,000.
Right.
And then the solar lien came up, and so now we added a majority of that solar payment, which is solar panel lien is around 26,000. So I think it's like 16,000. We increased it to pay off majority of that
Mhm.
solar lien, so that we could keep the monthly payment as low as possible. Because the way they structured this deal was not great by the seller. Seller almost was like, that's a future me problem 2 years ago, and that problem isn't coming in now, where it's like 3% of the total balance is what the monthly payment is. So by knocking down that total payment, it's going to decrease the monthly, which is what we were trying to do. And that's why we baked it into the entry.
Yep.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. So this there's this could absolutely fit an ADU in here, and so maybe that would be that could actually be an additional, because around like a 2-1, I think like the rents we had was around 2,500, right? So adding an ADU could be a good move. We'd have to underwrite to see what a 1-1 could do in that area.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
can,
So
you
what,
can add
That's a
ADUs
great-
in Salt Lake.
Huh?
You can add ADUs in Salt Lake.
That's a really good point. I'm gonna underwrite that and
so
get
this
more
is the
detail.
primary home currently, so it could be an
Yeah.
STR if we had the budget to do an ADU. Okay.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
When do you need to have this under contract? When does this need to dispo?
So by the end of this week, and it's been tough trying to get all the payments aligned, because the seller is more like putting his head in the sand with a lot of these things, And
Yeah.
so we've been trying to little by little work with the lender, work with the solar lender and the company to get all this information. We finally got it. Right now it's close of escrow is the 18th, this Friday. We've gotten extended once. We can extend it again if someone's interested in it. And they have serious interest in it, send the EMD over. We require 5,000 EMD, and then you have a period of time to review, like walk the property and all that. I'm going to check out the ADU, and I can provide those numbers too, Kyle, so that way additional context can be given for anybody that would be interested after that. If someone doesn't want to actually live here or try and find a wrap buyer for it, that's the only hope, is to add that ADU and see if they can maybe cash flow that way.
Okay, sweet. All right, so this one needs to be done by Friday. Again, if you're watching this or you're going back and watching this live, whatever, throw a DM here or look in the comments. I put the email that you can send off to the information. Do you have anything else in Utah?
I do.
If you, okay, go ahead.
Okay, what you got?
I do have another one, but I'll bring it up after.
Okay. Well, no, why don't you can finish and then we'll just move to hotel.
Okay. So this one, I just got. So I'm going to need to actually provide a more thorough. So this is actually someone within sub 2 that's selling their property, and they put this together. I'm going to get the actuals because I believe they run it as a short-term rental today. And so I'm waiting on that. Sure. This is fun though.
Okay, walk me through some of the highlights so I throw it on the screen. Is it STR, primary, long-term rental?
Yeah. It's in Haven, Utah, and it is a 2.75% interest rate. It's $100,000, $115,000 entry fee, super high. But
Hold on. Tell me, primary, STR, LTR.
Oh,
Okay.
STR and MTR is like the ideal exit strategy.
Okay. Square footage?
Square footage. I don't have that on here. Hold on.
Okay, I can skip it. Well, what's the size of the house?
I'll pull it together.
32 or what?
6'4".
Oh, okay. 6'4", 3,500 square feet.
Yep.
It's a big one.
Yep. Yeah, 2.75% interest rate.
My son is trying to knock at the door and tell me what to ask for. 2.75 interest rate. What's the price point? 680?
680. Oh, this property is converted from a 6.4 to a 9.4. I just got this thing, so I want to put it up here, but it got converted from a 6.4 to a 9.4.
6.4 to a 9. Oh, okay. What is the entry?
It could be a good co-living property too. Entry is 115,000.
115K entry. Let's see what else we got. PITI at what is that?
3,074.
Oh shoot! An entire desk fell over. Give me a second.
No problem.
All right, so we got PITI. What's the interest rate that he's asking?
2.75.
Oh yeah, 2.75.
That's the existing mortgage. Yep.
Okay. Just real quick, let's just look. Did it come with any financials at all?
No, I'm waiting for the actuals.
Okay. See, I'm just throwing it in.
We have a desk that it's Brittany's desk that one of the legs is kind of broken that I was going to fix. And my son went in there and said, "Oh, the leg fell off." And then I was like, "Just go put it back in there. I'll fix it later." And the entire desk just fell over. Computer, screen, all the drawers fell out of it. And I was like, "I will get this in a little bit." I was like, "Did it hit you?" He was like, "No." I was like, "Okay. As long as it didn't land on you, I think we're okay." But the entire desk is upside down. Screen's on the ground. Whole thing's just a mess. So, all right. Sorry. PITI was $3K, 3074 a month, 2.75 interest. Okay, cool. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Possibly go to what? A 9.4?
It is already. It was converted.
Oh, nice. Okay. So 9.4. 9.
Wow. Yeah. There's plenty of parking too. I waiting for the actuals to see what they were making on this because yeah, I'll be able to provide those details because if there's no HOA on this either, actually, let me see. Yeah, no HOA. This could be a really good, depending on like what's around this. Getting in 9 bedrooms, it could be a good pad split too, co-living model. It is already, so it's a co-living opportunity, but short-term rental could work in midterm. I'm just waiting for the actuals that they.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I can pull up AirDNA real quick and just see what that looks like. What is it? West Haven, Utah.
Yeah, I just threw it into B&B Calc real quick. It's projected 85, but that's only at a 6. It couldn't pull anything up for 9 bedroom for some reason.
Okay, I can pull AirDNA. It may say like 7+ or something, but let me see.
Yeah,
right.
But there's a handful of properties in the area making 130 or more.
Okay, throw like the picture of it back up on the screen, Bobby.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Do we know if it has a view?
Yeah, I'll pull up the pictures.
West Haven. Well, it's pulling up Michigan. Hold on, West Haven. Connecticut.
No,
Utah.
it's West Utah.
What's the let me just see if it'll pull up Utah.
Kyle, I just put the address in the private chat there.
Let me see.
These are the photos from before it sold. Actually, you know what? Let me see if they have the photos. Oh, here you go. Perfect. Oh, here's the new photos.
Oh, it's clean. What's he doing with it right now?
I believe it's a short-term rental or it's co-lit, or they're doing the co-living because converting it into 9 bedrooms, and typically I don't know exactly that market for pad split. But like for Florida for example, there's parts, and a lot of the averages that I've seen is like $180 to $200 per week per room. So if you're thinking, $1,800 per week for 9 bedrooms times 4 weeks, that's how much it's going to be pulling. Now, I don't know this market though, right? It could be $150 per week. But
that's $65K a month.
Yeah. The co-living model is like amazing. If you got the right, no HOA issues, enough parking, and you can take, a 1,600 square foot home plus and start to add a few more bedrooms in it. It's like a killer model right now. Everybody's really jumping towards it, especially just because of the affordability issues that we're having across the country.
Let's see. Maybe it's West Haven. No, not West Haven. I'm trying to find a market that's outside of West Haven that'll come up on AirDNA.
Ogden will come up.
What?
Ogden, Ogden, that will come up.
Ogden, Utah. Okay, perfect. because none of the other stuff comes up. And AirDNA is super slow for me today. My goodness gracious. Yeah, I can only go to like 10 plus, but let me see what 9 plus looks like. There's no comps at 9.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I think I have another filter in somewhere.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah. Sorry, do what?
I was just looking at this video tour. There's not a ton. You got a second kitchen. It's very bare bones. So my guess is it probably is co-living.
Pad split. Yeah.
Yeah, pad split. Nice backyard that you could.
There's a lot of potential. But
Amenities
yeah, you're
house.
right. I mean, it could be something that you can uniquely like you can make something that's unique, that there's not a lot of 8 bedrooms. You can convert it back to 6. I don't know what a 6 bedroom does. You said it was around 80 something thousand as a 6, Jeremy?
Yeah, it 80, 85.
Okay.
But that's just throwing the address in. That's not like actually going
Right.
through and selecting the comps. But that's the
Yeah.
average of 40 in the area.
Yeah, I don't know what Utah's like. Like I know one of the biggest things in Florida, right? It's like you better have a pool, or else you can, it's about 20 to 30% less in revenue if you don't have a pool in Florida.
There's not
I don't know what
many
Utah's like.
comps there at all over like 7 bedrooms.
Yeah, I don't know the driver that like the closest thing is to. I mean, co-living is probably the model. It's still such a great. Actually, let me go to pad split real quick and we can see.
There's a 6 bed doing 75, but there's nothing really out there. I'm just trying to look around and see like what's up, what's not. Okay, there's a 7 bedroom in South Ogden, 7 bed doing 175. There's a 6 bed doing 125, or could do 125. Revenue right now is 72. There's a 6 bed doing almost 90. So yeah, I would say 85 is probably like a lower projection just looking at these few. But like really diving deep into it and pulling all of the submarkets around and just kind of figuring that out, like we could definitely do that. I just want to spend a lot of time on that when we have like 15 other deals we need to throw out. So I do like that though, especially if the co-living is more of like, if you're talking about 175 or 150 a week, that's 600 a month times, we'll say 8 or 9. What's that? 600 times 8, it's 4,800.
So even in Salt Lake, there's nothing much near Ogden, within pad split at least. But I mean, you're near a highway, you're near the airport, you're near
There's a bunch of ski resorts, but Snow Basin's the biggest one in the area right there.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
All right, so those are the 2 single families in Utah. It's a pretty house though. I do like that.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have left? So we have another hotel in Utah, right?
Yeah. So this one's going to be the other side of Salt Lake. So we were just north of Salt Lake, and now this one's going to be down south, Midway, to where everybody goes to get married in the area.
Where is it? What did you say the town was?
It's in Midway, Utah.
Midway.
Yeah. So it's a smaller inn, 6 bedroom, very elderly owners that are ready to retire, and they just need to get out. But it is on the market right now. It's overpriced by the agent. Really, you're going to end up buying the real estate. I mean, I know, shocker, right? Hey, I can say that. So really, you're going to be buying the real estate, and then that's going to be more like 1.8, 1.9. It's located in Resort Row. It's also 3 minutes from the Homestead Crater, which is a very popular geothermal spring. It's also 12 minutes from the new Deer Valley Ski Resort East Village that they're just about finishing up, and also Tiger Woods is wrapping up construction of a golf course there as well. And if you're going to be holding for the long term, the 2034 Olympics are slated to be held in St. Louis or Salt Lake City. Sorry. So you got that. Yeah, so this one's definitely creative is going to be the best option on this one as well.
What's the price point?
I don't know if you're going to have any initial thoughts, Bobby, with it, but price point's 1.8 to 1.9 because you're going to be buying the real estate. At least that's kind of what it's worth. My thought would be to because the seller last week when I first got it, the sellers didn't even know where they were going to go or how much they needed per month. But the only thing, so they don't get screwed on capital gains, I was figuring, a seller finance deal with, a balloon at, 7 years, because at that point they're going to be in their 90s. Yeah, so what's up?
Do you have any numbers on financials?
Yeah, I do. So that's the other thing is, of why it's most likely you're not going to be able to get financed, because, they're collecting Social Security, and back in 21, it's a 6-bedroom property or 6-room property, and they've only ever had 4 available to rent because they didn't want to have an issue with income. Well, in 2021, they made too much and they had to pay taxes on their Social Security, and they didn't ever want to do it again. But last year they were only, they only brought in 66 grand. They were at an 18% occupancy. 23, they're at 78 at 22.91. In 2022 at 25% occupancy rate. So, yeah. So, I mean, obviously you're not going to get finance, right? But
66 at 18% occupancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
It's a mixture of king and queens. I don't know the breakdown though. But property is capable of doing 350 plus a year.
Okay.
Whoever would end up coming in, they'd have to obviously do cosmetic update and then add like a fire pit, hot tub, or like non-negotiables in the area. The lot it's a 10,000 square foot lot, and it's based on the density for the zoning. There you could potentially add an additional it's additional 10,000 square foot of living space that you could add. So you could build another structure if you wanted.
Okay.
Do you have any creative thoughts other than the seller financing with a balloon, Bobby?
Creative thoughts in terms of like a different way to structure it.
Yeah.
What did you say the balloon was? I didn't see it on.
There is no specific balloon. It's just my thought is the only way to really make this work for somebody is if you do a seller. Well, to make it work for both parties, the best, knowing that the sellers are older and don't want to get hit with the taxes and the capital. Capital gains as well would be to do the seller financing. And then, being that they're both 86, in 5 or 7 years, do a balloon. Because at that point, I can't imagine taxes are going to make a whole lot of impact in their life at that point. But
true. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. And especially like what happens what if they don't sell it, right? Where does this house or this hotel, who does it go to? Like, like what happens to it, because then
Yeah.
seller finance, you could structure it that same way too, right? Like at that age, having a monthly payment is nice, unless they're trying to do something with that money right away. I mean, we never go in with a balloon ever if we can help it, but oftentimes, and there's always that contingency that you can build into the contract, which we've done before. Like the one I recently closed in Lake Worth, we did this as well, where you can call it whatever you need to call it, but like an extension clause, right? An auto extension clause if the property, doesn't value as much. I know it's more commercial, but still, like if we can't refinance out of this thing by the balloon period, it auto extends for 12 months. So it gives just protection, and a lot of times the sellers are, that's fine, right? If that's future, they're like, of course it's going to operate. Like, of course you're going to be refinance out of this thing, but it's at least protection for the end buyer.
Mm-hmm.
So what about like, okay, do you have any projections on this thing? Like with the eight,
Yeah.
What would it cash flow? Let's say at, I don't know, 60% occupancy. Like, is it in a market that supports 60%, 50%, 40%, that kind of thing?
Yeah. 60% is doable for sure.
Okay. 60% occupancy, let's say 365 days times 60% occupancy times 6 rooms.
Yep.
So you have 1,314 available nights to rent. What is the ADR on this thing? Or do you know?
Yeah, so ADRs, right now they're fixed at 335, and 305 during weekdays and 335 on weekends, and 295 and 345.
So if we just said 300 ADR, that'd be close enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just say 400K top line.
But they're pricing high to not get a lot of bookings.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Each room, ADR for each room is probably going to be more along than
225,
180 to 200.
Okay, cool. So if we just said, let's just use 200 for top. It's 263,000 top line, 263K. Let's just say it. It's small, so like your operations are going to be really heavy if you're trying to hire everything out at 6 rooms. So you could run it way leaner than that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just said, like, depends on the taxes though. Like if you buy it for almost $2 million, your tax rate's going to be, your taxes are going to kill you. But let's just say, we'll just say running at 50% expense ratio. Let's just say, like, you're going to be having to do a lot. If this is your only thing and you don't have anything else in the area, you're going to run, you just have to run it leaner. Like, you're not going to be able to say, like, I've got all these VAs and I've got all this and I've got that. It's like, you're going to have to be better if you're already managing there or you live close by to run 6 units. So let's just say 50% expenses. So 131.4 is net. What's your cap rates running out there? 9, 10, 11?
No, it's going to be probably closer to 7.
7?
But out by Salt Lake?
Yeah. I don't know the market, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Can we go 8?
We can go 8.
Okay.
Go 8.
So ARV is 1.6. So you're not going to be able to refi with a balloon and get them 1.9. Like, it just wouldn't make any sense. And if you're going to put money into it, I don't know what the rooms look like, but if you have to put, let's just say $100,000 into it or $50,000 into it, you're going to be upside down at like 1.7 plus closing costs, and they want 1.8. So I would say like definitely closer to like $1 million. I don't know why they listed it so high. I don't know the market.
But Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, the play would be to add the square footage on this one.
Okay,
To add
so
the
how
unit.
many more rooms
Yeah.
would that be?
10,000 square feet. I mean,
Divided by-
a big hotel suite's 600 to 800 square feet. We'll call it 6, but take out 25% for hallways and stairs. And then if you're going to
Yeah,
have,
so what's it, 1,000? Yeah, 10 rooms, 10
Yeah.
to 15 rooms. Okay, so you'd have to add. We'd have to go through a value play of adding 10 to 15 units, which is going to cost you probably, depending on how nice you go. If you rebuild it 200 a square foot.
that's on the low end. I would say 300 square foot.
Okay,
So
300 times 10,000.
it's 3 million.
Yeah. That's a big value play. You'd have to go. Now, it could be something. How much room can you add? Can you go in and add like a couple of unique units? Like A-frames or domes or
Right.
something like that. Instead of spending $3 million, that's why I would say like you'd have to cut your budget there.
Yeah.
So if you could do something more creative and have that the ADR hit like 350, maybe some A-frames or a couple of, you could do like, so A-frames and domes are always a big winner, but your domes are cheap if you get them right. And there's something that I just passed, what was the Arc Homes that I passed in Jamaica?
Yeah.
And that would be an option. I think, I don't really know how much they are. I tried to like look through their website and it's like a lot of stuff was like to be determined or whatever, but I saw them actively being built in Jamaica. So I'm sure you have to like submit a quote and all that kind of stuff, but you could go through and get some $40,000 homes and put them up there, like your tiny home container homes that are really, really nice.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this place has a view or if it's close. I mean, I know it's not on
No,
the
it's,
water.
yeah, I mean, it's right on the back. So one of the resorts in the area is a Hyatt, Hyatt's Signature Collection, I think, but this property abuts the golf course.
Okay.
So I would, my initial thought, knowing and hearing that there's like, it's the place to go for weddings, I was thinking of more like theming it out for like the bridal suite, and just or the bridal, the whole bridal shower goes there, and that's where they stay for the weddings. So just really theme it out that way. That was my initial thought with it. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Our Instagram live just quit. So let me see if I can redo that. I don't know if we can or not. No, we're still live. Okay, sweet. I think it'll quit here in a second. Okay, cool. So let's say that's our Utah properties. What else do we have? Do we have anything else in Utah? No? Okay. What about do what, Jeremy?
I was just saying I don't believe so.
Okay. Do you want to hit Cali real quick? And then we could go and we kind of run through this at like higher level. Cali, we'll go Florida, Georgia. Actually, Utah, Arizona. Yeah, let's hit Arizona. What do we have in Arizona?
So in Arizona, we actually let me.
I'm gonna circle back on
Can
Arizona.
I circle back to Arizona because I have it, but I want to get the information organized. But what I do have readily available is one in Davenport, Florida.
Yep.
And Disney Market. I can share my screen on this one. So this one has been trying to get this book for a minute now.
Okay.
And it's a good deal. It's a high interest rate. Okay, I'm going to share my screen on it. It's a high interest rate, but what's interesting about it is the seller will do it. The seller will do a silent second on the mortgage on the
Your
seller.
mic's like cutting out. I don't know if your AirPod died or what.
Can you hear me better?
No, same.
Okay. Let's see what's going on. Oh, that's why.
Your mic changed?
Yes. that happen? Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So, all right. Tell me if I cut out again, Kyle. I'll switch back.
Okay.
Is it still good?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, cool. All right. So this one is, let me just share my screen.
Yeah, STR, LTR, co-living. What you
STR.
got?
Oh, STR for sure. This is a Disney in Champions Gate.
Okay.
8-bedroom. Right next to the resort. Right next to the clubhouse resort in Champions Gate.
Champions Gate. Okay.
8-bedroom, 5-bath.
8-bed, 5-bath. Good
Purchase
God.
price. I know. Well, that's like normal up there. You know, and you want to get higher than a 5-bedroom, but you can get to 7, 8, 9, 10. You're sitting pretty. And Champions Gate is like one of the best resort communities near Disney. And if I had the capital for this, I'd put it in here, but I would need a private money partner for this. And truly, I'm not going to use I don't want to use somebody else's money, because right with this, you have to hit. And the reason why I say is because you have to be very confident in yourself as an operator. And although I rather do that with my own money to do that. And the entry fee on this is $61,500. I actually have a breakdown of this here, what this property could do, right? So realistically, it'll do
682 purchase.
Oh, yeah, 666 now. Actually, just reduced.
67. 667 purchase. Entry of what?
61,500.
61K entry. We'll say 62. Okay, 62K entry. All right. Let's see what else we got on here. PITI is what?
5,200.
5,200. What's the interest?
6.7.
Okay, cool.
There is a HOA payment with 550, so you're in at 5750 monthly.
50. Okay, I'm just gonna put that in here. 5750. 5750.
And you could say includes HOA.
Okay. With HOA. Or what else you got? Let's see here.
Now, there's a seller finance payment on this, 30K, but that's not due until 7 years. No monthly payment on that. It's basically going to be sitting there silent until year 7.
All right. What is the estimate cash flow?
Okay. And by the way, the ARV on this property is 710,000. One just sold down the street for 710. Completely furnished, fully furnished, but you'll be able to salvage some of the furniture, but the design on it lacks. So you need to pour in money into this for the design. So on the numbers standpoint, realistically, year 1, it'll probably do around 91,000.
Okay.
The upside is 115,000. So
Okay.
if you're self-managing, right? You're going to be cash flowing at that like year 1, but you got to pour some money into the design.
Okay.
And I'll show pictures of this because there's a couple rooms that are nice, but if you look here, like this Nemo room is cool, right? Like I would keep that. I'd love to remove all the carpet in here, but this is just me. So people will operate this differently. So I can't speak for anybody else, but I would keep a lot of the things that are going on in this room, this Nemo room. There are others lack pretty significantly. Like this one, you can keep the bed. So again, it's fully furnished, right? So that'll cut down on the actual cost for furnishing, but you're going to have to redesign these rooms to make it stand out. Because if you look at the comps in here, based on what does very well in this neighborhood, like you're looking at properties that, like this is the game room for one that's right down the street. That's doing 127,000. Like this is what you need your place to look like.
Yeah.
And it's just the Disney market, right? You have over almost 40,000 rentals in that area. You have to compete. And so I just say that because that's why I say upside is 115 plus. And year one, typically, right, you're not going to hit that upside right away. But if you put the money and design into it, and I would say I estimated around 90,000 in design in inventory conservatively. It should be less than that. But all in total upfront cash, like I have anywhere between 150 to 170,000, and you got yourself a Disney property, literally like 5-minute walk right to the clubhouse, and you're in Champions Gate.
Okay. I'm not familiar with this area, so that's why I'm just trying to figure out.
It's incredible. I mean, Champions Gate is so great. Like it in terms of and near Disney. And if I zoom in out of here, right, it's right inside Four Corners, right here. And then you drive up the road. Disney is around here, right, and then Universal Studios is out here. But it's right within Four Corners. And again, Champions Gate is a very well known resort, huge golf course. Just awesome community. And if I zoom in here, what I wanted to show, because I think a lot of things sometimes you notice in these markets too, is like how close are you to the clubhouse, which is right here, right? And so that clubhouse it has everything. It has everything you need. Yeah. Oh, here it is. So It's like right up the street here. Yeah, it's beautiful, huge. So yeah, that one I'm super excited about. I think we almost had a buyer on this one, but he just literally bought a 9-bedroom in the same neighborhood, and he's crushing it. But the capital, it's just not there yet. But this guy's really hurting this seller. He's just obviously with a 52, he's trying to self-manage. And you have to do really well. There's no room to bring on a manager here in cash flow with that interest rate.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. I got you. Sweet. I do like that one. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. When do you need that one disposed?
Whenever. We don't want to string along the seller. It's been under contract for we've had these terms for probably 2 months now. And he's at this point, it's not completely locked to us, but we have a very strong connection to him, and we're trying our best to find a buyer for him.
I got you.
Man's hurting right now. So
sorry, I had to step out to go to the bathroom. Has the garage been converted to anything yet, or is that part of the upside?
That's an upside play too. Like it would need to be converted into a game room for sure. Yeah. Or a movie theater.
Cool. Yeah, the pool looked like it was kind of basic too.
Yeah, there's so much. If I show you those comps on there, it's like, I mean, some of these are just epic in the Disney area.
Yeah.
And and anybody that buys too, like we have a really great wall muralist that we've used there. We have a great we have all the resources too. So just if you want to buy there and you're unsure of that actual market, let me know. All of our rentals are up there, and we can point you in the right direction.
Okay. I love it. Okay. What about, can you screenshot this deal and send it to me? Cause I know there's people that are looking in the Disney area. So, and I'll post this too. I'll post that one too. And then the ones that you really need dispoed right now that's coming up, send me some screenshots of some stuff and I'll post them as well and see if we can help out some people getting them moved.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah. What's going to be the best way for people to get the details?
Yeah, Kyle, is that the email that you mentioned? I don't know if you want to throw that up for anybody.
Yeah. So if you're coming in, if you want to know more about some of the deals that are under contract, just shoot an email to this, or you can send me a DM, or I would rather you just send an email to this, info@powerpathventures.com. I just threw it on the screen. I think I can actually type it in. Yeah, Facebook's not. Okay, hold on. Powerpathventures.com. Okay, cool. So I just threw that in Facebook, and then I'm going to throw that in IG too. It's on YouTube, though. PowerPathVentures.com. Okay, sweet. See, it relays back to StreamYard when somebody leaves a comment, but I can't push back out for some reason. It's not putting it on Facebook. So, all right, sweet. We got a few more minutes. We got about 10 minutes left. So let's see if we can run through. What else you got? What else is ready to dispo?
Okay. One more I have. So this one is in Phoenix, Arizona. Not going to give the address on this one, but it is so this one is not an STR, but it could be good for buy and hold. It's a $1.1 million house, seller carry of $1 million. So the down payment's $100,000.
All right, let's see here. Buy and hold. Phoenix, Arizona.
Is it rated in Phoenix proper?
What do you mean?
Like it's not it's not like Scottsdale or Mesa.
It's right in the. Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, it's. Hold on, let me zoom out. I know exactly the.
How big is it? Like not square footage, but what? How many bedrooms, bathrooms is it?
It is.
5'4", 5'3",
4
7'3",
2 4 2.5.
4, 2.5.
2,600 square feet. It's considered a luxury home. 9,600 square lot. Or square foot lot. It is right in the. It's like northern Phoenix. I'm trying to look for a reference point here. Near Peak Park, near Whispering Canyon.
You got any pictures?
Yes, sir. I do.
Excuse me.
Okay, there you go. Yes. Subjects.
Yeah, so it's by Paradise Valley. It's a nicer area.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Nice. Oh, my 4-year-old.
I got one too. Well, mine flipped over a whole desk today, so I might have you beat.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, no desk's been flipped here. Okay, cool. So you see this is the inside of the house. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. Large garage. There's a pool.
Could it become an STR?
I'd have to check because I know some of these areas, like they're getting more and more cracked down on STRs.
Two pictures back, was that actual view of the mountain or is that a photo?
Yeah, that's behind it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
It's considered a luxury. I believe this is the park that I was referring to that's backing Peak, whatever I was saying. Yeah. So, yeah, beautiful pool. Yeah. So that one's in Phoenix, northern Phoenix. And the deal is, let me read out some of that information. I said seller carry. Yeah. So the down payment is $100,000. And it's a 5.5% interest rate. So the monthly payment is $5,500.
Okay.
7-year balloon.
Okay. So 100K to get in. Do you know how well it's appreciating here?
I mean, Arizona market is appreciating like crazy. I mean, you'll get appreciation plus what it could be you know, you can buy and hold, and the rents in the area. Oh, he didn't put the rents. I can get that. I know they're saying it's gonna be good for midterm or executive rental, and then a buy and hold strategy. I mean, the market in Phoenix is rising like crazy. It's great, especially in the luxury space.
Mm-hmm.
But I can find out the long-term rental on it. Let me see.
Might be $5,500 a month. We'll check this one and then we'll wrap this one up. And I know we have other states that we have stuff that are under contract, so we'll present some more next week. But also, like, if you guys want to know the list of deals that are for sale, that are ready to go, next week I think we should probably have like just high level on each one, and then just kind of roll through the states so everybody knows kind of what's going on. But if you want to get, we could just start doing an email blast too, and that way, you know, if people want to know the stuff that's being dispoed, then that's perfect. But we also have a couple of markets that people are searching heavy in. So if we can just have a sheet of stuff that's for sale, then we'll put that together and be able to send that out and post it and let people see it and that kind of thing. So that way the awareness is there. You know, if somebody's like, oh, well, I'm looking in Georgia, and we actually have one under contract in Georgia, be it Blue Ridge or Savannah or Macon or Atlanta or whatever, we can have all that stuff to you as well. So we'll put it all in one place. But this is our first week. So what were you looking at long-term rent on that one?
So there is two properties nearby, 7,500.
Okay. So
It's
long-term rent.
executive. Yeah, these are executive, like near Biltmore.
Mm-hmm.
Biltmore Highlands. So yeah, 7,500. So you're looking at pretty good cash flow.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay. So we'll wrap this one up. If you are watching currently, appreciate you hanging out with us. If you're just stopping through, you've seen a couple of bits and pieces and want to know more, shoot me an email at info@powerpathventures.com. That's in the comment section of all these, wherever you're watching live at. Send it over. We will send you the list of deals that we have a contract. We'll also add you, and we'll start building that email list to start pushing that out too. And then from there, we'll see you again next week. So, y'all want to leave it with anything? Y'all good?
No, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than Jeremy yelling at his dog.
I mean, you got the kids, I got the dogs.
Yeah. That's it. All right, sweet. So I appreciate you both. We'll be back next week. We're just going to run it live again across all the channels. So we're just going to keep doing this. So as you guys are searching for deals, want to buy a deal, almost guarantee you we're going to have something close to where you're looking, especially as this ramps up and we start moving some of these. So, but yeah, I will see you guys next week. Everybody that's watching, I'll see y'all next week. You'll probably see me throughout the week. And if I can help anybody here in any way, please just reach out to me, and I will see you guys later.
Cool.